well, hello and good day to all of you wonderful viewers out there. Hi, I'm Awesome Joe, and thank you guys so much for taking the time of your day to watching another episode of Awesome Joe's Play Back-to-Back Movie Reviews. And today we're going to be doing a series review on the Book of Boba Fett, episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm going to keep this very brief and very short to the point here. Long story short, there are going to be spoilers. If you haven't seen it, it's all episodes of Book of Boba Fett is now out on Disney Plus, so go and check it out before watching this video. You can come back and become part of the awesome conversation. So let's go ahead and do this right now, everyone. We got the last 4 episodes. We talked about the recent the first 3 episodes of the season, which were not as satisfying as anticipated it to being, but it was still entertaining. It felt like there was something missing. I didn't think that the episodes, the way that they ended, should have ended the way they did. I felt like it just needed more to give more of an explanation, giving us more than what we wanted. So we got chapter 4 that's called The Gathering Storm. I find that this is actually the episode that was pretty much good. Compared to the first 3 episodes. I found it very good. I was very entertained, and it really caught me back on track and very interested in getting to see where this story is taking us to. And it's directed by Kevin Tancharion. I think I mispronounced that, like I always do. And I like the fact that this really does take the majority of the time within the backstory of where Boba Fett and Fennec Shan met, and how they went and regained the Slave One ship, and just giving very meaning to the very reasonings of what Boba Fett is doing, what is his purpose on doing the things that he's doing throughout this entire series. So it does give a lot of explanation in that, but we do get like this boss meeting that's going on in current time, when Boba Fett is now the daimyo and speaking with all the other rulers of the planet, just discussing as to, you know, he's building an army, he's building you know, this entire kingdom, putting it into terms on how he described at the very beginning of this season, is that he wants to rule with respect. He doesn't want to rule with fear, and it's really hard and complicated to change the very aspects of what that planet has been doing for many generations. So it's going to be a very complicated task, and something for Boba Fett to do. So we got returning, of course, Tamara Morrison. We got Fennec Shan, Ming-Na Wen coming back. We got Mark Shanks, David Pasquesi, Black Kursan, Carrie Jones, Garsa Whip, Jennifer Beals, which is amazing. I can't believe they went ahead and killed off her character, which is in another episode, but I don't know. I feel like we needed to see more of her. I didn't really find that she was very meaningful, only having to appear and socialize with Boba Fett within a few scenes, and then after that just kill her off and just show on how these Pike syndicates on what they're all about. So we got these other individuals from the Mos Vespa Riders. You know, you got Drash, which is Sophie Thatcher, then Scad, which is Jordan Bolger, which they're the ones that ride those Power Ranger looking colorful motorcycle galactic speeders. So I don't know, I just felt that was really out of place. I found them very annoying. I didn't think that they were very useful, or even for the reason of being used in this story. Then we get the Modifier, which is played by Thundercat, which is really cool because we do get to see, it's like these mechanical installations that that's like in our world putting on a tattoo or something like that. I don't know. It's just all. It feels very futuristic, Earthbound. It doesn't really feel a galaxy far, far away. It's just too down to earth, and I couldn't buy it. I couldn't say that this felt Star Wars. That it was feeling within the same time as the original trilogy. It just did not fit for me. So there's a lot of things about this series that I really didn't agree with. And then it's like I'm trying to say before, is that I don't hate it, but I dislike it. You know, there's things about it that I really did admire so much. In which, anyways, at the ending of chapter 4, you know, they're talking about hiring Muscle to help out with what they are intending to do to fight for the planet against the Pike syndicates, and then the theme of the Mandalorian comes on, and I'm just like, no way. I still remember the reaction I felt when that happened. I was just caught at shock that we were going to get the Mandalorian returning into this series. I thought that we were going to be seeing him returning in his season 3 premiere, which is probably going to be another year from now. But no, the wait was no longer. Here we are. Chapter 5 is entitled Return of the Mandalorian, and who would have guessed that it was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard? Now, let's see this here. Even though I enjoyed Chapter 4 and then the first 3 episodes all about Boba Fett, nothing interesting happened. Nothing that really demonstrated as to what was the very purpose, what is the meaning, what are we doing here, where is this taking us to. None of it really explained anything at all. Only the fact that, yes, he escaped from the Sarlacc pit, yes, he meets Fennec Shand, yes, he is associated with the Tusken Raiders, so on and so forth. But what does it mean? So, when it comes to this episode, Chapter 5, Return of the Mandalorian, when I saw the Mandalorian appear just right there, I was like, I was so, just like, I could not believe I was seeing him again. It was just so fantastic. Din Djarin, played by Pedro Pascal, man, he's just phenomenal. I loved both seasons of The Mandalorian. And getting to seeing him come back and then having to help out Boba Fett. The thing is that this show is called Boba Fett. You heard this many, many times from other critics. I can assure you that. The series is called Boba Fett. It's not called The Mandalorian. So, and you had already 4 episodes dealing with Boba Fett. That's not even interesting, but now it is interesting. And this is like the best episode so far that doesn't even feature Boba Fett at all. Only The Mandalorian, and it is one of the best episodes of the entire season. I couldn't really believe that. And it was sad. It was very, very sad because because if I were to look at what a Boba Fett series would have been, it would have been exactly what Mandalorian is. If we didn't have the Mandalorian, it would have been the Boba Fett series, and him taking care of Grogu and doing everything that he did throughout the Mandalorian series. But that wasn't the case. We all love the Mandalorian. Even more than we do with when it comes to the Boba Fett. I mean, it's sad to say, but it is a given fact. You get the Armorer coming back, which we haven't even seen in a good long while, returning back Emily Swallow. And then you get Peli Motto. Amy Sedaris, so fantastic. I always have a great time when I see her coming back. And I love the fact that she... because the Mandalorian lost the Razor Crest in season 2 of the Mandalorian, so he's without a ship, and I love how she goes ahead and gives him this Naboo Starfighter, which we all know was from episode 1 of the Phantom Menace. And they really Mandalorian'd it up. It doesn't look. It is the same shape of the Naboo Starfighter, but now they removed the yellow and made it more silver. And I guess because of merchandising, toy wise, I don't know. But they make this little pit, this little cockpit to where R2-D2 was sitting in. Now it's become a little pod that seems as though maybe one of these days Grogu will be reunited with the Mandalorian and sit in the back of Mando while driving this Naboo Starfighter. So it was great getting to see that. Great little reference there. But it was just fantastic. And I love how the Armorer goes ahead and welds off the Beskar spear and making it into Beskar armor for little baby Grogu. So, and they put it in this little tiny sack and tie it up, and it looks just like Grogu with the little, the ears and everything like that. It was just fantastic, phenomenal. I loved it. I was just so excited if we saw the Mandalorian, that we were going to see Grogu again. So that was really, really cool, and that they were going to reunite. So fantastic. I love it. And then it just connects to where Fennec Shand recruits the Mandalorian, and Mandalorian, he's not going to really want to get paid for this. You know, it's just him helping out for free. But he says, I got to go visit a small friend. Easily, right away, we already knew, yes, we're going to get Grogu in the next episode. So excited. I could not wait. Which leads us into Chapter 6, From the Desert Comes a Stranger. This is directed by Dave Filoni, so that means a lot of good stuff is going to happen in this one. And lo and behold, yes, it does. But the problem is that this is a Mandalorian episode. This is Mandalorian 2.5. It has nothing to do with Boba Fett. Boba Fett does show up in this episode, but only for a mere matter of seconds, and he doesn't even say a word. That's really bad. That, you know how I felt like when I was watching these episodes is that the first 4 episodes were about Boba Fett. The reviews were going sabotage. They were going really down, falling downhill. So I felt like they went ahead and broke the glass and brought out Plan B, which was, you know, shifting the story. Instead of doing more Boba Fett, they went ahead and shifted it over to giving us what we loved a lot, which was the Mandalorian and his storyline. So that's how I felt. I know that that's not the case, but that's how I felt when I watched the going into Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. So when this episode is called From the Desert Comes a Stranger, I was actually curious as to what that meant. At the beginning, of course, we get returning Cobb Vanth. Timothy Oliphant comes back, which is fantastic. Loved seeing him. I was so excited, and I'm assuming that that's what it was referring to, having him intervene with the Pike Syndicate doing some spice harvesting. But that wasn't the case, because something happens on later on in the episode where I just could not believe what I was watching. That there was this individual coming from the desert, which was a stranger. Who was this figure that was coming out of nowhere? Apparently, everybody walks in the middle of the desert, but apparently this is a character that looked very familiar. But I didn't know his name, and I knew that he was a Dave Filoni character and came out in the Star Wars Clone Wars show. Looked very familiar, but I don't know anything about the character. I never really saw Clone Wars. I just remember seeing images of the show, and that this character resembled that image, which is character Cad Bane, which is voiced by Corey Burton. Whoa, this character really freaked me out. It's just so scary with the teeth, the sharp teeth, the deep voice, and the big red eyes, and just the cowboy old western Clint Eastwood look. It was just a phenomenal image, and I loved it. It was just fantastic. I don't know anything about Cad Bane. Apparently, he has some past with Boba Fett, and which is why he has a dent on the helmet, and so on and so forth. I love the fact that there is a backstory between the two characters. But the fact is that when it comes to Chapter 7, the season finale, we get only an introduction of Cad Bane, but then in the next episode just gets killed off. And I'm just like, why? I mean, I just got introduced to this character, and I love this character a lot, and I want to see more of him. There seemed to be a little tease, like a little blinking light going on when he got killed off by Boba Fett with this final fight. He gets killed off with that Tusken Raider staff thing. But if Cad Bane is alive, I mean, come on, it's sci-fi. There's always that whole thing going on when, are they really dead and eventually they will come back to life, or, you know, they might be a clone or a brother or something like that. Something would happen. But I want to see more Cad Bane. There has to be more Cad Bane. I don't care about a Boba Fett season 2. I don't really care. I really don't want to see that. Which reminds me, it was just announced that the Obi-Wan series is coming out May 25th. So excited. So that means that there should be a trailer coming out soon. I cannot wait. This is so exciting. But because of everything that happened on Boba Fett, not so much of a good success, and because it's the same people that did Mandalorian, and which was a great success, and now Boba Fett, which was very downhill. I wonder, is Obi-Wan the series going to be any good? Because it is set on Tatooine also, which is what Boba Fett was as well too. So I'm just like, what's happening here? I really do hope and cross my fingers, because we are getting Ewan McGregor coming back. We are getting Hayden Christensen coming back. I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm really, really interested, and of course I'm still going to watch it. I mean, I just can't wait. Which is actually Star Wars Celebration, May 25th, Star Wars Day, which is going to be the 45th anniversary of the original Star Wars film back in 1977. So fantastic, very excited. I cannot wait. But anyways, back to back to the book of Boba Fett, chapter 6. Cad Bane shoots down Cobb Vanth. That looks like as if he got killed off, Vanth, but it looks like he got shot in the shoulder. So chances are he's still alive and he's still coming back. But the rest of the entire chapter 6 is referring to is the Mandalorian going to be reunited with Grogu? We get to see Grogu. It's fantastic. They don't get to reunite, but Mandalorian does associate with R2-D2, and surprisingly, yes, it caught me at all. Ahsoka Tano, Rosario Dawson, fantastic. I loved it, and I loved how she said that she is a friend of the family. I love it, in reference, of course, being an apprentice to Anakin Skywalker. It's so phenomenal. I love the fact that we even get Luke Skywalker in this. That is Mark Hamill returning. And oh my god, he looks fantastic. He literally looks like he just came from Return of the Jedi back in 1983. We went back in time, got him, and brought him over here and filmed him for this. It looked so real. Because the way that he looked when he revealed himself at the season 2 ending of The Mandalorian, I honestly didn't like it. I didn't like it. He didn't look real. It was too. It was just too. It was annoying. I didn't like it. It was very irritating. That's the word I'm looking for. Irritating to me. I just didn't like it, and I'm glad they improved it. I'm so glad that they did. And he even appears in daylight. This is a lot of FaceTime too. They try to hide him in several times to hide the face to avoid paying more money. But oh my god, man, it looks so good, so real. The world of Hollywood is gonna change forever because of this performance. A lot of older actors who were very legendary, who played legendary characters when they were younger, can no longer be recasted. I mean, if they would have done this for the Han Solo movie, I mean, guaranteed it would look like Harrison Ford more than it looked like a completely different actor. But it was just great getting to see him, and the way that he associates and teaches Grogu and tells him about Yoda, and even has Yoda's saber. How did that happen? How does he have possession of that? I don't know. He lost it in Revenge of the Sith, so I really can't put my finger on as to how in the world Luke Skywalker has possession of Yoda's saber. But it was still cool getting to see it, and there could have been a fact of Grogu taking on the mantle of Yoda's saber and becoming a full Jedi. It would have been really cool, but things don't happen to turn out the way that we would expect. Because, of course, as we all know, in the sequel trilogy, that the Jedi Temple that Luke Skywalker builds and teaching a new generation of Jedi doesn't really work out as planned. Because of a certain nephew that went ahead and turned evil, because he's the grandson of Anakin Skywalker. So, but anyways, enough thrashing on that. But yeah, it was a phenomenal episode, and just like I said, it sucks that these 2 episodes didn't feature Boba Fett, but yet they're the best out of the entire season. That's very sad. So it leads us on to Chapter 7, entitled In the Name of Honor, and this is directed by Robert Rodriguez. A lot of people are not fascinated with Robert Rodriguez dealing with Star Wars property. I really don't have a problem with it. I really do admire his work. He does a lot of good work, but apparently when it comes to him touching on Star Wars, it doesn't seem to be working for him. So I don't think that he's going to be returning anytime soon, or anytime at all, coming back into doing Disney work. So I think he's just into doing more rated R, hardcore stuff, bloody guts, all that thing. I don't know. But yes, Chapter 7 gives us this final battle. I love every single screen that deals with Boba Fett and the Mandalorian in the same screen with their helmets on, using all their weapons and jetpacking, flying in the air. Every single scene of them two was just fantastic. It was great. Did I enjoy this final fight? Not entirely. Throughout the entire season, it builds up to this battle that is going to happen, but honestly, it didn't really fascinate me. I really didn't care about the Pike Syndicate. It was a very terrible thing to do when it comes to villainous, evil planning. The only thing that I enjoyed when it comes to the villains of this series is the fact of Cad Bane. I really want to see more of him, and I hate the fact that they killed him off. I hope that he's still alive and they find out a way to bring him back to life somehow, because I want to see more of him. But everybody else, I just don't care. And Fennec Shand, she shows up for a little bit, but throughout the entire battle, she just completely disappears. And I'm like, the entire time I'm seeing this fight is, where's Fennec Shand? Where's Fennec Shand? Well, she comes back towards the ending and kills off all of the ones that betrayed Boba Fett, that are leaders of different territories of the planet. So I thought that was pretty messed up. I think that Shand should have helped out a little bit more, because there were so many difficult positionings that brought our group of heroes of the story into a binding corner that seems as though that they were going to get killed off. And of course, there's always going to be some surprise help coming from either Freeland, which is Cobb Vanth's town, or we get the Rancor coming in. That was a fantastic thing. We knew it was going to happen when the Rancor was introduced, and having Boba Fett say how much he wants to learn how to ride it, that's going to happen. And it happened, and it was cool. I loved it. The way the Rancor looked was just so phenomenal. Very realistic. Very King Kong against these giant destroyers with the shields. I mean, it felt very Godzilla-like. Pacific Rim, giant monster versus the giant robot. Fantastic. Enjoyed it so much. There was when it comes to the Rancor, people were scratching their heads and asking, okay, so why the Rancor? He has Slave 1. He used this in this show to defeat his enemies in a split second. So why couldn't he done the same thing here? He still has Slave 1. So we don't know why, but it was really cool getting to see him riding the Rancor and what the Rancor did. So that's just my take on the whole thing. There was some speculations into thinking, Han Solo was going to show up, just like how Luke Skywalker did at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2. They didn't really hint of him coming in. There was no hints of his character being introduced, so there really wasn't any point. I know that he has this flaw against Boba Fett and all that stuff. They should have had a final fight going on in Return of the Jedi, but of course that didn't happen. Instead, getting eaten by the Sarlacc pit. I don't know. It's just I just didn't really see the very meaning of Han Solo. It would just be a complete fan service that wouldn't have no meaning to the story, if there was even a story to tell. Because, like I said, this entire series really didn't catch me to where it had any story at all. It felt very fan service. It was cool fan service, but it still needed a significant story, meaning of a story to tell. So, but anyways, you guys, and even towards the ending of the show, it's really cool that we get to see the very last few seconds of Mandalorian and Baby Yoda, but Grogu in the Naboo starfighter, just like how they intended, and blasting off into space. So that was really cool. But the thing is that you got Boba Fett and Fennec Shand agreeing to each other that this isn't the line of work that we're into, and I don't think that it's going to cut out for us. And I really think this entire season was just completely meaningless. If I wanted to see a Boba Fett series, I really wanted to see very much an uprising, the way that he is brought up after the events that had happened at the Attack of the Clones. Seeing him coming to being the Boba Fett that we know and love from the original trilogy. So, from what I found on Rotten Tomatoes, they went ahead and rated the entire season of the Book of Boba Fett at an 81%. What? I don't understand that. Excuse me. But for me, like I said, I don't love it. I dislike it, but I don't hate it either. So it gave me some. I took some time to think about what am I going to rate this show. So I went ahead and said that the Book of Boba Fett season 1, from episode 1 to episode 7, all of it, all together, I gave it all a 67%. But only because of the fact that we do have 2, including maybe even the last episode, just because of the fact that we do get reuniting, which was very heart touching, of the Mandalorian and Grogu coming back together. I mean, and with all that happening, it kind of ruins and takes away the very beautiful, true meaning on what happened at the ending of season 2 of the Mandalorian. So I don't know. But yeah, 67 I went ahead and gave it. And even there is a mid-credit scene, which I already knew that was going to happen, because it happened at the ending of The Mandalorian Season 2, that Cobb Vanth is actually in the healing tank, and that he is accompanied by the Modifier, Thundercat's character. And it seems as though he's going to get some robotic implants, just like what happened with Fennec Shan. So I'm assuming, is there going to be a Cobb Vanth Star Wars TV show on Disney Plus? Maybe. We get to see his own series? Probably. I was excited when I got to see him when he came back into the show, so it could be a possibility. But next, coming up for Star Wars is going to be the Obi-Wan series on May 25th. So I'm really excited for that. Can't wait. Don't really know what else is coming. I mean, I do, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head. But anyways, you guys, that's my review for the rest of the Book of Boba Fett Season 1. What did you guys think? Have you guys checked it out? If not, it is available right now on Disney Plus. Go ahead and check them out, you guys. I really do encourage you guys to go and watch it. Even though there were some aspects of mine that I really didn't find fond of, it was still an exciting show to watch if you're a true Star Wars fan. But anyways, everybody, I'm Awesome Joe. If you like this video and you want to check out some more, you can look me up at Facebook and on YouTube at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews. Don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button there, you guys. I really do appreciate everybody's support in my video. And if you have any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns, please feel free to leave it down in the comment section in the bottom. Let's have an awesome time talking about this TV series or any TV series that you'd like to talk about, everyone. But anyways, everybody, I'm Awesome Joe. Keep on living the dream. And as always, stay awesome. Thanks, you guys, once more again, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Bye.
We'll be right back.